A very good evening, distinguished guests, parents, colleagues, and dear children. South Point is committed to ensuring the safety of all. Should there be an emergency, you may take the aisles, which will give you clear access to the exit gates. You will find 3 exits at the back of the auditorium. Additionally, there are 2 exits on the right and 2 on the left. These doors will lead you to the lobby, and from there, you may take the main exit to go out. The balcony area also has 2 exit gates which lead to the staircases for going down to the lobby. Should you require first aid, you will find a doctor and our school matrons in the auditorium. Our teacher and student volunteers are there to assist you. And most importantly, please do not panic. South Point School and South Point High School extend a very warm welcome to you all to the annual prize distribution ceremony 2022-23. We have gathered here today for this very auspicious occasion after a gap of 4 long years which were full of challenges, crisis, and the struggle to cope with confinement and social isolation. Nevertheless, as the saying goes, in the depths of winter lies the existence of an invincible summer. And so, we are once again back here to celebrate the achievements of our dear pupils whose hard work, dedication, and commitment to their goal do us proud year after year. This year, the celebration of this annual event of South Point is even more special, ladies and gentlemen, as we have stepped into our 70th year of existence. And reaching the Platinum Jubilee milestone is certainly an applaudable accomplishment for any institution. We will begin our program with an invocation presented by the pupils of South Point High School. The words of this Sanskrit shloka have been penned in Bengali by Kobiguru Rabindranath Tagore. If my restless soul races ahead like an ominous dark cloud, forgive me, my Lord, I am a petty mortal standing at the brink of the abyss of sin. Lift me up, my Lord. The invocation will be followed by the school song.
Prasfuranniva Dritira
May I now request Srimati Rupa Sharnal Bhattacharjee, Principal, South Point High School, and Srimati Dalbir Kaur Chadda, Principal, South Point School, to kindly accompany to the stage our chief guest, Padmashri Professor R.M. Vasagam, our guest of honor, Dr. K. Gopalakrishnan, Shri Amol Chandra Chakrabortti, Joint Administrator for the estate of late Srimati Priyamvada Birla, Shri Sushil Kumar Daga, Trustee and Vice President, South Point Education Society, and Shri Krishna Damani, Trustee and Secretary, South Point Education Society. We have flowers for our honorable guests from the South Point family. Flowers will be presented by Annika Boshak, Rudrajit Brahmachari, and Priyadarshini Mishra, all from Nursery 2. Our little pointers presenting our honorable guests with flowers. As a token of gratitude, we have Angvastram and mementos for our honorable guests. May I request Shri Amol Chandra Chakrabortti to present the Angvastram and the memento to our chief guest, Padmashri Professor R.M. Vasagam. And may I request Shri Sushil Kumar Daga to present the Angvastram and memento to our guest of honor, Dr. K. Gopalakrishnan. I would like to request Srimati Rupa Shanal Bhattacharji, Principal, South Point High School, to deliver the welcome address.
Good evening, distinguished guests, guardians, my colleagues, and dear students. It is my privilege to welcome you this evening to the annual prize distribution ceremony of South Point School and South Point High School. It is my honor to welcome Padmashri Professor R.M. Vasagam, the chief guest for the evening, our guest of honor, Dr. K. Gopalakrishnan, and Shri Amol Chandra Chakrabortti, Shri S.K. Daga, and Shri K. Damani. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening is not only special because we are gathered here for this August occasion after 4 years, but also because 2023-24 is the 70th year of South Point as it was established on April 1st, 1954. Padmashri Professor R.M. Vasagam is the Chancellor of Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute, Chennai, and also the Chancellor of Karpagam University, Coimbatore. His guidance is very important to us as the Vice President of Indian Technology Congress Association, ITCA, which is hand-holding South Point in the making and launch of its Priyamvada Sat, our own low Earth orbit CubeSat. Professor Vasagam has been working for the Indian space program since its inception in the 1960s, and his professional training and experience is in avionics, navigation guidance, control, and systems engineering areas. Our guest of honor today, Dr. K. Gopalakrishnan, is the Project Director, 75 Student Satellites Consortium Mission 2022, the Member Secretary, 75 Satellites Project Management Committee, ISRO Headquarters, and importantly, the Secretary General of Indian Technology Congress Association. He is a guide and mentor for the Priyamvada Sat mission. Amongst his many achievements, Dr. Gopalakrishnan has been awarded for filing the highest number of patents from the World Federation of Engineering Organization in 2017 and University Space Engineering Consortium in 2019. Significantly, July 4th is the birth anniversary of late Shri MP Birla and Badima, late Srimati Priyamvada Birla, always made it a point to be present for the prize distribution ceremony since 1995. Today, we also have in our midst Shri Amol Chandra Chakrabortti, Joint Administrator for the estate of late Srimati Priyamvada Birla, and a chartered accountant of immense repute. The presence of Professor Vasagam and Dr. Gopalakrishnan, as I said earlier, is significant as South Point High School's CubeSat, which is to be known as Priyamvada Sat, is almost ready to be launched. About 200 students have been attending online classes held by the scientists of ITCA, while 44 students, accompanied by their teachers, visited Bengaluru in the month of January in order to get trained for the satellite launch. They not only visited the Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, headquarters, as well as satellite fabrication units, but also attended seminars organized by ITCA, interacted with scientists, and had first-hand experiences of the many processes which lead to the fabrication of a satellite. The Priyamvada Sat will be launched from Sriharikota, hopefully by the end of the year, and I'm certain we will know more about that from a chief guest and guest of honor during the course of the evening. I'm very proud to let the audience gathered here know that a space lab will be inaugurated soon in the present campus of South Point High School, where students will be able to work on the data received from the Priyamvada Sat and thus have their own virtual experience via the giant display screen set up there. Ladies and gentlemen, currently, India is home to more than 140 registered space tech startups comprising a local research field that stands to transform the planet's connection to the final frontier. India's importance as a scientific power in the space field is taking center stage and shall continue to grow in the days to come. We expect to give our students early access to the space technology through the launch of the satellite and establishing a space-cum-ground station at our school premises. On 1st April 2023, the Platinum Jubilee celebrations of South Point was launched with a meaningful event named Roots and Wings, a tree plantation drive in which student representatives from nursery to class 12, members of staff, and a senior management team planted 70 saplings as a token of the school's responsibility to improve the environment. All 70 saplings will be replanted at the new campus of the school, to which we hope to shift by the academic session of 2025-26. The Priyamvada Birla campus of South Point has been a dream project for all of us, and it's a great emotion to watch it take shape. Unfortunately, there was a delay in its construction because of the pandemic, as well as other issues over which we did not have any control. But once completed, the Priyamvada Birla campus is going to add much to the aspirations of South Point and its pupils. Academic excellence has always been South Point's forte. We look forward to the carefully planned laboratories, libraries, the airy classrooms, and most importantly, the different activity and play zones being developed in this mammoth campus with an estimated built-up area of 9 lakh square feet. The results of the AISSCE Class 12 and AISSE Class 10 were published almost simultaneously by CBSE on 12th May 2023. 580 pupils appeared for their Class 12 examination, and the highest was scored by Shomudito Chandra, which is 98.2%. 63 pupils scored above 95%, while a total of 169 pupils scored above 90%. 341 of the pupils scored 80% and above, or close to a 60% of the pupils. The highest scored in English, mathematics, geography, physics, chemistry, psychology, economics, and legal studies was the maximum marks, that is 100. While the highest in most of the remaining subjects was 99. I would like to take a moment to thank my colleagues who burnt the midnight oil along with the pupils to revise and reconsolidate the lessons, a necessity after the gap of the pandemic. In AISSE Class 10, we had 786 examinees, out of which 119 students scored more than 95%, while a total of 352 pupils scored 90% or above. A total of 585 pupils scored 80% and above, which is approximately 75% of the examinees. Kritika Guha topped the school with a 99%. Our pupils max the papers, that is, scored 100 in English, mathematics, science, social science, and Bengali. Aniruddha Shai has made us proud with his All India rank of 279 in NEET UG 2023. Many others have done well in the JEE Mains and the JEE Advanced, as well as the West Bengal Joint. The different inter-school events under the MP Birla Smarak Kosh, like Masquerade, the one-act play competition, Q Point, a haven for serious quizzers, Celebrate, a platform for debaters, Satrangi, the singing competition, and Perceptum, the essay writing competition, were hosted in the months of April and May 2023. There was enthusiastic participation from the city schools of Kolkata, which was indeed very heartening. Checks and certificates will be given away to the winning teams this evening. Chessmate. The FIDE-rated chess competition was also held in April 2023. For years now, South Point has been seriously nurturing chess. Dipta Ghosh, the youngest grandmaster from West Bengal, is a pointer. Till date, South Point has given India 3 grandmasters back-to-back. Our hope now lies with Ayush Bhattacharjee of Class 11, who has achieved 2 international norms in 2 consecutive tournaments held in Bosnia and Herzegovina very recently. He is among the top 100 players in the world and is ranked number 3 in India. Aditya Roy plays cricket, and very well too. He is the under-19 Bengal captain and is the recipient of the Edugraph 18 by 18 2023 award by Telegraph, given to 18 achievers under 18 who hail from the eastern part of the country. Today, awards will be given out for the MP Birla Puja Utkar Samman, conceptualized by Srimati Priyamvada Birla in the late 90s, via which she wanted to expose the young minds to the heritage of West Bengal. Specially chosen student judges are trained for this responsibility. Then they visit about 100 pujas spread over different teams, looking out for the most deserving, all who make the Durga Puja so very special and attractive. This evening, awards will be given out to all-rounders from classes 2 to 12 under the MP Birla Smarak Kosh. The especially talented, as well as those who overcome difficulties, along with those who contribute notably to co-curricular activities, will be recognized this evening. Aspects. The Alumni Association will award a present student who brings glory to the school by their significant achievement. South Point believes in the holistic development of each pupil. Hence, besides their academic subjects, co-curricular activities are given equal importance. Each pupil from classes 6 to 8 are exposed to 2 co-curricular and 2 skill-based subjects. Classes 4 and 5 and classes 9 and 10 are exposed to 1 co-curricular subject of their choice. At the same time, pupils spend extra hours preparing for different inter-school activities, both at the national and international levels. 41 pupils of class 12 appeared online in the Sir Isaac Newton examination conducted by the Department of Physics and Astronomy of the University of Waterloo, Canada. 7 students were placed in the top 100 worldwide, while 32 were merited at the top 200. The Jagdish Bose National Science Talent Search has many enthusiastic applicants from the school, and based on their performance, South Point High School received the Best School Award yet again in the senior category. South Point High School has sent teams to various CBSE sports competitions and they have won awards at the zonal level. Our NCC battalion is now active and going strong. A batch of more than 60 students attended a course at a camp organized by the Himalayan Mountaineering Institute, Darjeeling, this summer, and each graduated successfully. Ladies and gentlemen, following the prize distribution ceremony this evening, there will be 2 cultural presentations. South Point School will present Ek Divya Udan, the eternal quest, man's strive towards ethical excellence. South Point High School will stage Ray, a drop of golden sun, a tribute to the legend Satyajit Ray. We are certain they will mesmerize you. We take this opportunity to inform all that the 70th year will be marked by many landmark events during which all stakeholders will be on board to ensure the success of each event. While we wait for the evening to take off with the speeches of our guests and the prizes distributed to the students waiting in the audience, we would like to thank the parents for their unstinted support in overcoming the difficult times of the pandemic. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. May I now request Shri Amol Chandra Chakrabortti to kindly say a few words.
A very good afternoon to all of you. Namaskar. My very esteemed dignitaries on the dais, distinguished guests, respected parents, and also the faculty and teachers, the dear community of students, and ladies and gentlemen. I consider it an honor to have been invited to speak before this distinguished gathering on the occasion of the anniversary of birth of late Mr. M.P. Birla. This is indeed a very joyous occasion when we shall be awarding the prizes to outstanding and meritorious students. But having known Mr. Birla, and when I came to know that I may be asked to speak, his face immediately flashed back on my eyes, and therefore it is necessary for me to say a few words about the greatness and the noble soul which belonged to Mr. M.P. Birla. He was not only an industrialist of the highest order, but he was a spiritual leader and a philanthropist to the core. He never wanted to take back anything. He only wanted to give everything to the society, everything to the nation. And he was somebody who symbolized sympathy and grief for the poor segment of the people. And that is why he was able to create, within a very short span of time, a large empire of industries, societal organizations to serve the country and the poorer segment of the people. I'm here today also as a member of the administrative committee which has been appointed by the Honorable High Court and which has been confirmed by the Supreme Court, consisting of 3 members. 2 other members are Justice M. Shah. He was the former Chief Justice of Calcutta and Bombay High Court. Mr. M.K. Sharma, he was the Vice Chairman of Hindustan Liver, and myself. We have the responsibility in looking after the MP Birla group, the estate of Mrs. MP Birla. The estate is a vast one, with 29 companies and 33 trusts and societies. Out of this, I think South Point is a bright spot. And whatever is possible, I would like to assure the present persons who are present here that we will provide all help and assistance as and when required to make South Point a greater organization and a more reputed and a glorious future. I think the South Point was established in 1954. Actually, it was 2 years younger to me because I passed chartered accountancy in 1952. But Shotinath Guho, who was the founder of South Point, was not only an educationist, but he was also a mentor. He was also an educator of highest caliber. He was also a literary giant who made a name for himself in the literary circles of Bengal. He won many more prizes. In fact, if you see the Guinness Book of Records between 94 and 92, I think that the South Point was regarded as the largest school in the world. MP Birla Group came into the picture in 1995. And since then, this institution has not looked back. It has really progressed significantly, and it has really made a brand, an image for itself. As on today, the management committee, I must say, and congratulate them on their vision and foresight that they are building up a campus, spending 400 crore of rupees near Calcutta, which will accommodate all the students in their dormitories, and this campus will be built with all modern facilities so that the students get the best of the world. I wish that this campus, this school, may someday turn to be the Eton and Harrow of India. It will not only attract students from the other states, it may also attract students from other countries, nearby countries, as Rabindranath had said, Dibe Arnebe Milabe Milibe, Ei Bharater Mahasagarer. So therefore, I think that possibility is there. This institution, MP Birla Group, not only runs companies, but it has also large number of hospitals. It runs large number of schools where more than 30,000 students are affiliated. And also various other religious and social organizations which had made a name for itself. Amongst this galaxy of educationists, I would not like to talk much about education. I am 92, so therefore I am going to say a few things from my experience for the benefit of the students or the parents who are here. I personally think that the basic objective of the education, however brilliant they have shown in their examination results, is to develop real good human beings who will have the basic qualities of honesty, discipline, and integrity, so that they can face all the challenges for the future. That, I think, is the basic objective of education. And we have to now consider whether our educational system meets these obligations to the nation and to the society. Now let me say about the honesty. Let me give you a story about it. You must have heard the name of the Nobel laureate C.V. Raman. Now C.V. Raman was attached to Calcutta University at one point of time. At that time, Ashutosh Mukherjee was the Vice Chancellor, and we had Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, we had Bitan Roy, we had Jadurath Sarkar, all galaxies. Now, C.V. Raman wanted to establish a science institute in Bangalore. So large number of physicists applied for the job, and only 5 were selected for final interview with Mr. Raman. Out of that, 3 were selected, and 2 were refused. That same evening, when C.V. Raman was walking around the campus, he found one of the gentlemen walking along alone, but who had failed to pass the final test. In other words, he was one of the 5, but he was rejected. So Raman asked him, "What are you doing?" So he said, "Sir, while clearing my account, they have given me 7 rupees more. So tomorrow is holiday. I don't know what to do with 7 rupees. I have to give it back to them." So Raman was astonished. He said, "Okay, you give me this 7 rupees, but meet me tomorrow at 10:30. I'll open the office for you." The next day, Raman met him and told him that you have passed the test of honesty, and therefore I'm taking you and creating a new position for you within the panel. You know who is this gentleman? His name is Subramanian Chandra, who won the Nobel Prize in 1984. And he wrote a book. In his autobiography, he said how his honesty for ₹7 won him this position which he occupied. I'm sure all of you must be seeing the tennis matches. When Djokovic won the 24th slam, He was asked, what made you come to this position? He said, discipline, determination, and perseverance. I think this applies to everybody. And that is how he came to the position. That man had the same qualities. It does not limit it to the sports. It limits to every walk of life where you have to have these qualities, which must be accentuated by two more qualities, ambition and passion. Ambition to achieve the objective. Passion, you must love the job that you are undertaking. Then only you will be a human being who will be able to excel in life, who will be able to give something back to the nation, who will be able to give back to the society. I think that is what is educational for. Secondly, all right. Secondly, to the students, I would like to say, I have coined these words, and amongst the whole chartered accountants community, this is very well known. That is the three words, technology, technology, and technology. This will overshadow your life. Whatever you do, technology will interfere. Therefore, you must be able to match up with the changes that technology brings. And this will be a whole life program, mind it. You cannot stop understanding the change of the technology. You have to continuously upgrade yourself. You see, for that purpose, if necessary, don't talk too much on the telephone, don't see pictures, but for your survival, for your betterment, knowledge of technology will be fundamental. You'll be surprised. This is my prognosis that artificial intelligence, whether it is better than the human intelligence, will be the next step of fight or the battle by the scientists. So therefore, the technology will change the whole color of your life, and you must be prepared for it. But whatever you do not forget your roots. You must not forget that you are the progeny of the oldest civilization. And you are the inheritor of the oldest culture, which should make you proud. Whatever you do, and it is your responsibility and job to generate this feeling of pride to your future generations. Let me give you one simple example. You must have heard the name of Alpha Thomas Edison, one of the greatest innovators, one of the greatest scientists. He has invented electric lights, gramophone, telephone, telegraph, many things. So when he invented gramophone, it was a tremendous achievement because people can hear their own voice for the first time, how it looks like, you see. So Alpha decided that he will have the recording done for some of the world's famous people. And he selected from England only one person, Max Muller. And Max Muller was a professor, although he was of German origin, he was of the professor of Cambridge. So when he came to London, a meeting was organized consisting of the elitist of the Society of London. because gramophone was something new. So in the morning, Max Muller said something which nobody could understand. What language he spoke about? It was neither English nor Latin or Greek, you see. So in the evening when they met to find out the final result of recording, the voice of Max Muller was the same, language was the same, but nobody could understand the language. So everybody asked, what was the language that he used? And he said, I used Sanskrit, which is the oldest language and which is the most scientific language. And I spoke the first sloka of Rig Veda, which says, Ogni Mile Purohitana. You see, it is a Shurja Bandhana, because the sun was bringing our life from darkness to light, you see. So therefore, you can easily see the type of people that we had at that time, you see. And in one of the Rig Veda's slokas, I'll take another 2-3 minutes, please. One of the slokas of Rig Veda, it says, let all noble thoughts come to us from all sides. Mind this was written 4,000 years back. Today you go to Harvard University, on the walls of the Harvard University, this will be resounded. The same language, give us new thoughts, noble ideas, so that we can progress forward. This is our heritage. Please let us not forget this heritage. This is my request. Continue with this heritage. I'm glad to be here this afternoon. I would like to congratulate the winners, and I hope they will continue to do better. But those who have not won the prizes, I would only like to say one thing, that life is long. There is time for you to make it up. Do not dismay. Life is full of successes, failures, you see. So therefore, you will have the opportunity of making it up. This also remembers me when I was in class 10, appearing for my matriculation examination. We had an English teacher called Narendra Mohan Sengupta. He always, after 6 months before the examination, he would always say to us, boys, still there is time. Even 1 month before the examination, he would say, boys, still there is time. So therefore, to them I would only say, still there is time. You need not despair. You need not despair. Today, I also feel is a day of reckoning, because this organization, this school, could not have come to this position without the guidance, direction of the principal and the teachers. Today, I would like to say they are namaskar, and I would like to extend my pranam to each of them for what they have done for this organization. I would only request them to continue to do it in a better way. That is my submission. And lastly, South Point had a checkered career, but had a glorious past. I will only wish and pray that it continue to meet with progress, growth, and success in its glorious path during next 50 years. That will be my fervent hope and fervent desire. Thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your wise message to our students. May I now request our Honorable Chief Guest, Padmashri Professor R.M. Vasagam, to enlighten us with his words, please.
Very good evening to all who are assembled here for this momentous occasion of getting the prizes and also getting the congratulations and also seeing the satisfaction among the parents who are assembled here and my distinguished people on the dais who represent the trust of the school and also the Priyamvada trust, because just now Dr. Chakrabortti spoke eloquently on many of the things that you have heard. But I would just like to be very brief because I would like to spend more time here, but I have a commitment tomorrow at Bangalore, so I have to leave a little early. So I would just like to say a few things. When I joined engineering, it was my passion. Because I came from a village and then going by cycle for 8 to 10 kilometers every day, and then that school, only 3 schools in that taluk town. Out of 600 people, finally I ended up in engineering and another person studied economics and joined IAS. So 16th rank all India. So we were the 2 outliers out of the total batch. And those who didn't make it in a big way, they are also doing wonderful in business. So there is no way of saying that, you will be doing only this or that. So it is a choice. But everything is driven by passion. I think that is what you will have to think of. So whether you want to become a doctor or an engineer or an economist, many of these your pioneers are here. Even Banerjee was an old student of this place, I was told. So that way, I think you have set examples. But I was always fascinated by Bengal, and the Renaissance movement originated in India from Bengal. I think that is what you will have to salute the forefathers who did all those transformative things in this country, and that value still is cherished here. So I was awarded Vivekananda National Award for pioneering activities in engineering education and in the research. So Platinum Jubilee occasion at Coimbatore. So I was privileged to be part of the people. Those, 3 days we had sessions. Those who are above 80, those who are above 70, and those who are in the 60 to 70 belt. So 3 evenings we were having 6 people each day. We were actually talking to the people of transforming India. So now I had a chance to be coming under the influence of Dr. Vikram Sarabhai at the 1960s, and I joined instead of going to crossing the Atlantic and then go to USA and then either never to come back or occasionally come back and criticize India and go back. I was not one of those things. So the space program was just in the nascent stage, and then they had in the interview at Bombay in July like this, in a monsoon period, the goal set was India will launch, it is 1965, and in 69, India will launch its own satellite with its own launch vehicle from Indian soil. This is the mission given, even without my getting any appointment order or anything like that. And we were sent to Tumba rocket station, and then we built up the indigenous rocket development. I am very fortunate to say here that the Birla group, the Indian Aluminium Company, Indalium, the Indal company gave the aluminum tubes which are made use of for the rocket chambers. So that is one of the very, very early days of metallurgical things that we have made use of. So this is something which we'll have to be proud of. And also the other Birla Group Institute at Mesra, Ranchi, there also we had the people who are actually studying rocket technology in India, first time in India, a specialized program at postgraduate level. So we had a lot of connections with Birla Group. And the other part is, unlike many other philanthropists and many others, I think the Tatas and Birlas, in those days they were symbolic of the, you can say, wealthy people, but at the same time kind-hearted, large-hearted people. And they truly followed the Mahatma Gandhi's philosophy of trusteeship principle of going to the downtrodden and develop them. So education was one of the best means, and I think the South Point is doing wonderful job in this pioneering field of education in a variety of fields, and we have seen the disciplined way the program is going, and also the people are very, very happy to put their wards here, whether they will be serving the country in India, or because we are now training people for the global assignments, not necessarily for India alone, whether we are developing engineers or medicine or anything, we are for global community, we are at the service. So this is something which we'll have to remember. And now the other point I would like to say, I was fortunate to lead a team of 2,500 engineers drawn from all the major institutions of the country for building the first communication satellite of India called Apple. That is the only satellite which was used, experimental geostationary communication satellite, where we were seated in an auditorium like this at Ahmedabad, and Madam Gandhi was inaugurating the service of the satellite from New Delhi Air Station. And through teleconference, one black and white screen, one half Ahmedabad, one half New Delhi. That is the first time it was done. We did telemedicine. We did teleteaching, telecomputing, whatever is word that tele is added, everything was done using that satellite. And it also had some problem, because 1981 was the International Year of the Handicapped, and one solar panel, unfortunately, we couldn't deploy it. It was not the requirement of power that really had a problem, but because one panel was closed, we were actually the satellite was running into fever, because the heat radiation capacity was reduced by half. So we had to put people at the Sriharikota Control Center for almost 4 months in a year. So, sending every day night we take it out of the sun, and then you can see the meat shop, the rotisserie, where the meat is actually cooked in slow fire, and then it is rotated. So same way the satellite was rotated at 1/12 of an RPM, and we got it back in the night. And the worst possible thing was the scintillation, ionospheric scintillation. And I think the Calcutta was the place where J.C. Bose and his successors have actually studied the scintillation in a great way. So this is what I think you'll have to say. The physics or the fundamentals of chemistry or mathematics are extensively used in space program, but at the same time, it also comes handy in times of crisis. So this is what we will have to say. And the other great person here, Indian Statistical Institute, it was set up by a physicist turned to statistics, Malanabis, and he pioneered so many things in this country. And the simple form of identifying the genetic types on one side, the other is the racial types. So the distance between the two eyes and the nose and all, one single figure finally it was rendered, and that is how you segregated the Mongoloid face, the Caucasian face, like that. So the kind of things, but I will be surprised if you see, even today there is no Indian ergonomics data. The Indian child is actually driving the bicycle designed for European child. So the handlebar distance, the pedal power that you are pushing, everything is still drawn from outside. So we have to say, when we say make in India or self-reliance all those things, ultimately it has to become a reality. So that is what I think the prize winners here who have topped their programs and also competing amongst the equals, or sometimes maybe very narrowly only the others would have lost. But I think there is a great chance for India to emerge in the coming decade and also in the maybe in another, up to 2050 or 2047, when we are talking of the $10 trillion economy. Right now we are talking of $5 trillion, but that is, a pseudo number. Purchasing power parity we are comparing. It is not absolute wealth. So you have to really transform India to a wealthy nation. At the same time, prosperity should be equally going to everybody. Equity and also the ill health has to be eliminated. Illiteracy has to be eliminated. All these things are still formidable problems for India. So this is what I think we'll have to see. And the program that I think Dr. Gopalakrishnan and others, we are now actively pursuing, building 75 student-built satellites from the more than 5,000 odd institutions in this country in engineering, polytechnic category and schools. And you are, I think, probably the first in the country with this, 12,000 strong student team to come up with the Priyamvada satellite. So we hope to see it launched from Sriharikota, because the small satellite launch vehicle is getting ready, and I think it may be a passenger there or a PSLV launch if it is coinciding with some other mission. So I hope that the satellite is just a symbol of bringing so many disciplines together. It is the interdisciplinary way of doing things, and this is where I think the new education policy or national education policy, whatever you are talking of, all go back to very strong in fundamentals, and then fundamentals never change. It is only the methodology and tools and techniques change. So this is what I think we'll have to see by doing, building, launching, operating the satellite, and also learning from failures to overcome. As I said, our solar panel, not deploying. Even today it is a puzzle. So Professor Satish Dhawan used to ask me whenever finally I see him, have you found out why he didn't deploy? So still it is an unanswered question. So the cold welding, all kinds of things, molecular, the two molecules will come together, van der Waals forces, variety of things. So all these things you'll have to think of. But now I would like to leave a thought with you. Just now I was telling to your trustees that the simultaneous translation of languages, artificial intelligence is a tool. So put it to use. Even if it is an online lesson which is coming, whether you can also get it rendered in the local language simultaneously. So this is what I think we'll have to attempt in the computing area. And in the devices, yes, there is a big gap. Electronics, we are very, very weak. Even though we design the circuits, we go for fabrication elsewhere. Now that has to change. And then we also have the last word I would like to say. The Calcutta was symbolizing the best of the mechanical engineering, the finest of mechanical engineering. This was the home. Today it has not been so. So I think you will have to render it back to that glory, old glory, and then bring back the good old days in very, very short time period available to you. So this is what I think we'll have to see. And then the other points of, what we say, environment, ecology, all those things, the speed breakers which are there, you will have to see that the designs are able to mitigate the ill effects of the technology. I think because no technology is perfect, it is incomplete, it also hurts somebody. So that has to be kept in mind. That is the human considerations of applying technology for societal problems. So this is what time and again we have been told by Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, that you have to live to even though we may be doing wonderful things in space, your feet should be on solid earth all the time. So I think that is the law, we can say, mantra which you have to follow. And of course, many missions are waiting in Sriharikota. The moon mission, Chandrayaan 3 is going. Then we have, this time we wish all success. Then we also have the Aditya to study sun. Then we have the other things for Gaganyaan, where the Indian-born people will go to space for 3 to 7 days and come back. So we have to make it happen. It's all in less than 1,000 days from now. So I think this is what I would say. The opportunities are enormous, challenges are plenty, and your ability to match the challenge and then come up with original and innovative solutions, that would be the only return that you can give to this great alma mater, founded by the Birla family. And I was told that it is the birthday celebration of the MP Birla, and also Priyamvada, trust is here, who is supporting all the activities here. So make it a great institution nationally and internationally. It's already so, but you have to maintain that reputation and then far beyond the borders of India. All the best to you. Thank you.
Distribution, but may I request our guest of honor, sir, could you please share a few words with us?
Good evening. At the outset, I would like to congratulate all the awardees, prize winners from South Point School and South Point High School. And I also congratulate all the parents who reared and supported their wards and put them in the right place in their career growth. I also thank the management of South Point School and South Point High School for arranging such a wonderful award function. They cherish in their lifetime. So they deserve this kind of awards in such a great ambience like this. Many universities are not giving in this August achievers in such a fitting manner. Again, I congratulate. And I congratulate the management for organizing this 70th year, that Platinum Jubilee celebration, in a befitting manner by launching their own Priyamvada satellite. It was not a small achievement. It is a historical achievement. In this great country where 130 crore people are there, 10,000 plus universities and colleges are there, and 1 lakh plus schools are there, high school, higher secondary schools, etc. But hardly only 12 institutions can so far launch their own satellite. So South Point is one such school in the entire country. First time a private school able to build and launch their own satellite. This bold move, it's not an ordinary initiative, it's a historical initiative. It costs a lot of money, 4 to 5 crores they have to spend. They are going to put 2 ground stations, one in the South Point School, one more at Planetarium. That is what the greatness of this great institute, because they wanted an inclusive growth. They don't want the science or technology for only privileged few. The entire sections of the society, the entire Bengal can utilize the facility at Planetarium. Students from any age group, from any region, free from caste, color, creed, language, they can access the facility. Such is the initiative. Right from the beginning they have taken. And I also congratulate the management for having the wonderful value system in their school, right from their faculty member. I congratulate all of them for imparting such a inclusive knowledge. This is what important. Everywhere people can acquire knowledge. There are many ways and means. But in a classroom environment, imparting such a great value system, it's not an ordinary thing. And I also congratulate the student for being part of this great satellite initiative, because Bengal have its own tradition, right from freedom movement or before, right from Swami Vivekananda or Netaji, Subhash Chandra Bose or Sarat Chandra or Satyajit Ray. You take any walks of life. We have enough historical characters are there in Bengal, still they are there. So we inherit that legacy. That DNA is very much operative, very much alive. So we are no way inferior to any of the sections of the world. So we are willing to be part of this great initiative. I am thanking the management and the management trustees and office bearers for making us to be here on this August occasion. So regarding the satellite program, I will take only one highlight. In Israel, we could see that school students able to build a satellite. Then fortunately in 2018-19 onwards, Indian schools are showing interest, but the bold initiative was successful only at South Point School in Calcutta. One other government school project supported by Government of Karnataka was there in Bangalore, Otherwise, no school in this country has taken such a bold step. So I again congratulate. We will ensure that in this millennia, particularly the Space 2.0 or era of small satellite or new space era, what we call technically, because traditionally space program were controlled and governed by government regulations, and only centrally funded projects were there throughout the world. Only hardly 7-8 countries can have the capabilities of building and launching their own satellite. Fortunately, India is one among them. We have many firsts for our credit. How Bengal have its own tradition, India have its own tradition for its space program. In the maiden attempt, our moon mission, we are successful. In our maiden attempt, first attempt, Mars mission, we are successful because we are superior breed in other sense. We are hard-working people. We know how to frugally access, whether it is low Earth orbit or geostationary orbit or interplanetary mission. Even today, after 6th attempt, China could not able to achieve their Mars mission. Japan could not able to achieve their Mars mission. The so-called superpower, they never made, both former Soviet Union and Russia or the USA, they never able to achieve their Mars mission in their first attempt. That is what the greatness lies in our Indian soil and our thinking process. So we are inheriting that legacy. So I hope that South Point satellite, South Point School satellite, Priyamvada satellite will be the successful. It will start a fresh chapter in the entire country in general, and particularly in Eastern India, it will open a new chapter. I wish all the success for this great initiative. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Gopalakrishnan, for your motivating words. In a short while from now, the cultural program will begin. I would like to request the dignitaries on stage to kindly take their seats in the auditorium.